Real talk disclaimer. The information provided by the host on this platform is for education and awareness purposes only. All information provided on this platform is provided in good faith. We make no representation or warranty of any kind, express or implied, regarding the accuracy, validity, and reliability of information shared by the host or show guests. The views and opinions of guests on the show do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of the host of Real Talk. Under no circumstances do the host, show guests, sponsors, or affiliates assume responsibility for the actions of any viewer.
Our greatest glory is rising when we fall. So don't be discouraged, don't you be appalled. It's okay if you fall and maybe even lose your spark. Just make sure in the end you rise from the dark. It's time to rise up, time to work, and time to chase your dreams. The Lord has the final say, so your soul is redeemed. This message is to help you with your self-esteem, as faith will take you places that we have never seen.
Rise, we're rising, we're rising, we're rising, rise up, rise up, rise. So we're rising, we're rising, we're rising, we're rising, rise up, yeah.
Welcome to Real Talk. We're glad to have all of you to join us here on this beautiful Thursday evening. The weather been flip-flopping. It's warm, it's cool, it's chilly, the heat, the air, the fan. But we, Real Talk, is in the house. What's up, Bishop T?
Oh, I don't know, Pastor Z. I'm here.
Know?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. Are you glad to be here?
I am always.
All right. We're glad to have all of our guests.
Wait a minute.
What's up? you don't start. You're doing too much. Hello to everyone out there in Real Talk land. Several ways that you can connect with us. Several ways you can connect with us. You can connect with us on Facebook Live on the Z Andre Huff page, the Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T page. You can also find it on her page, and if you share it, it's on your page as well. Also, YouTube. Go to Real Talk with Pastor Z and Bishop T, and we have a YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. We also have a Twitter page, R Talk with Z and T at R Talk with Z_T. Welcome to Real Talk to all of you. Dana J, what's up? My baby brother. Hello, Mother Latham. How are you doing? Glad to have you join us on today. Miss Stacy Otis, hello, how are you? Miss Katrina Davis, hello, how are you? Miss Terrell Townsend, how are you? And then Miss L'Oreal Deshae Robinson, who is a part of our intro. Welcome to Real Talk. It's been a hectic week for me. I don't know about you, but it's been a very hectic week. Let me say this before we move any further. I think I forgot to say it on last week. We want to try to get or receive pictures for those who have loved ones who have and are currently serving in the armed forces, in the military. We want to put together something for Veterans Day So if you have a loved one that is actually have served for our country or is serving for our country, we would like for you to send a photo of that particular person to realtalk.z.t@gmail.com. Get it in, get it in. realtalk.z.t@gmail.com. Send us a photo before the deadline. When is Veterans Day?
Veterans Day is November the 11th. So we would no, it's November the 11th, which is a Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So the show would be the 10th.
So before the 10th, well, we need to get it in. What is that Monday?
That Monday will be the 7th.
So by November the 7th, I need all pictures, all photos of your loved ones or yourself who have served or is serving for our country. So we can put together a video to show right here on Real Talk on that Thursday to actually you okay? To actually appreciate those individuals who's serving for our country. Okay. What's up, Philip Davis? How you doing?
Mr. Davis.
We're going to have some interesting topics to discuss on today. And we're going to get into those in just a few minutes, but we're going to have someone to join us as we discuss those interesting topics. But before we go to those topics, tell them what time it is, Bishop.
It is tea time.
Hello, Tom Tom.
Hey, I was getting ready to say now, I know I didn't hear no static buzzing or anything.
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone.
What happened?
Let me hold on. Let me say this first. Okay, Robert, and to anyone that is watching, if you served our country, the Army, Air Force, Navy, or Marines,
or special, what do they call them?
Green Berets, or Special Ops, or National Guard, whatever you have done for our country, it does count. Send your photos to realtalk.z.t, and we're going to put together a video. As any part of the branch. Okay? All right. Tell Mom I said thank you for allowing you.
Auntie said it. Coast Guard.
Yeah, thank you. Coast Guard.
That's so. What happened? I'm like the children. What had happened?
Her mama told her to put that iPhone 4 down and pick up that iPhone 13. Her mama told her it's your phone. You ain't upgraded since I bought you one in high school. So welcome, Tom Tom. Everybody give a shout out to Miss Tom Tom. She come to spill some tea.
Hey, spilling the tea.
Spill the tea.
Spill it.
Spill it right now.
Right now, let's go.
Spill it.
Okay. All right. I got a lot of stuff to talk about, but I want to go back last week. You know, we talked about Brittany Griner, and I told you that she had an appeal. Well, she lost it. So we just got to keep praying for her. They denied her appeal. And I just feel like they're just using her as a political pawn. And it's just sad. I mean, you know. So
yeah, it's political.
It's political.
All she had was a vape pen.
A vape pen.
And you get 9 years.
9 years.
For a vape pen.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. Y'all stay y'all you know what's out of these other countries.
That's right. That's right.
They'll
Right.
put you in jail in your own country. Quit going to these other countries. And I hate that she's caught up in it. And I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's the Ukraine Russia thing, and we're sending these military assistance to Poland,
Right.
and it's against Russia. And why they have one of our players over there,
Right.
and they feel like she's a valuable asset to us.
Right.
They're going to use that as much as possible to get
Absolutely.
what they want.
Right.
But they're already, go ahead.
No, that's exactly what it is. But it also too bring up how the WNBA players, they don't make as much as the NBA
Oh,
players.
they're forced to.
No, they're not forced.
Well, they got to go where they make money. They don't pay them right over here.
Right.
Yeah, but money ain't everything, is it?
No, it's not. But so maybe if they pay them enough, she would.
I'm just saying.
But a lot of them do that. A lot of them on the off season go to foreign. You go over.
I know a lot of them. I've seen some of them in China.
They have a status like the NBA guys do.
I'm not blaming her, but guess what? When that war was about to take place, they was dragging their feet from coming over there too. Yeah. I was like, it's finna go down. Get out from over there.
Yeah, they were telling them to.
And Dennis Rodman, he was big about going to North Korea and talking to midget man. What's his name?
Right, you better don't be Kim.
Yeah.
No, you don't be play. I don't play like that.
So
about some midget man. I didn't say it. He said it. I said Kim. So whoever it is, I didn't call him midget man.
So they said. So he said, "Well, I guess I'll go over here and get Brittany." And so now his conversation will change. He said, "No, dog, I ain't going over there."
But they have been negotiating and trying, but Russia is gonna Vladimir Putin, he's not gonna this. I just feel like he gonna hold it right there for just a minute.
It's gonna be a while
right there.
Because then they put some what is that they call when they give some when they punish other countries?
What you talking about?
You know how we do things to other countries to like penalize them. What's the other word we use? It's like penalizing other countries and giving them it's not fines, but there's a lot of things that they kind of came down on Russia when they are sanctioned.
Sanctions.
Thank you, Van. Minister Smith. Sanctions. They put some sanctions on Russia, and every time Russia attacked Ukraine, they will stiffen the sanctions. And I believe that's going to be their way of bargaining with the United States to light up on the sanctions in order to cut down some of the time for Brittany. They're going to use her as a pawn.
Right. They definitely are, but they're gonna want a swap. They've already talked about it, and I hate to be talking behind it, but they're already prisoners that we have.
Right.
They're trying to swap, and whatever it is, they're going for the juggler for whatever it is.
Yeah.
So they're not willing to just take a regular swap to get her back home. They're gonna use it. And it's her and somebody else.
So is it?
Hannah is on here. There's somebody else that they're holding, some journalist or somebody.
And they just released. They did a ceasefire for 2 hours because there was an American soldier body that was there that the family wanted to get back to United States to have closure for their loved ones. So they did cease fire for a couple of hours. I saw that the other day in order to get that soldier back.
Right. It's just sad.
It is.
I hate, that they're using her that way. So just continue to keep her in the prayers, because that's just,
Right.
I don't know. I can't imagine being in a foreign country, but
Yeah.
jail.
I have I will say this, and I won't mention any names, but I have some friends that are close to the family, and I can't even remember now which country it was. But when this friend of our family's, her daughter got in trouble in a foreign country, and the penalty was to be beheaded. I think
Yeah.
and her mama basically went into seclusion and went on her knees and
Right,
prayed,
right.
and had other people
I
praying.
remember that.
And God brought her,
Yeah.
whatever he did, he brought it right out. I won't mention any names with that,
Right.
but those of who know, exactly who I'm talking about. If you know, you know.
Right.
And so it definitely warrants a situation of prayer, because what dignitaries can't do,
Right.
praying to God, he can work it out.
That's right. Definitely can. But on a lighter note, McDonald's doing it again. They doing it again.
What the
But what?
Mickey Mac doing? The Mickey Mac.
They
You
come
got to come up with some accurate information for McDonald's, because right now the adult Happy Meal is not working.
look, they coming out with them little Halloween pails. Remember, they used to have them like long. They coming back with those too. So
They sure did. I saw that today.
go get you one. Go get you one.
It's probably
Well,
too high.
McDonald's trying to come up, ain't it?
McDonald's doing a lot of stuff. So
They too high. I'm not paying $10 for a adult meal.
well, go get you a Halloween pail.
I They know we'll buy that stuff because it takes us back.
Right.
I'm
right.
not going back.
You're not going back. Okay. All righty. So Nick,
That's not the only thing McDonald's doing, is it?
yeah. As of right now,
Is they sponsoring or hosting something real soon?
I don't know nothing about it. I ain't heard it.
I'm gonna let you just go on down your list because I saw something from Miss Go in the photo. Go on.
okay. Nick Cannon. Y'all know who Nick Cannon is?
What has Nick
You
done?
don't know Nick. Wow, was it Wilding Out?
Yeah, Wilding Out and Drumline.
Nickelodeon. I didn't know that I shouldn't say that, but I didn't know Nickelodeon was Nick's until just a few
Is it?
years ago. Yeah, Nickelodeon, Nick.
I understand his name is Nick, but I didn't know he
Yeah,
had a
that's what
network.
that is. I think that's
No.
Okay, Google it. Google it.
I'm finna Google it now. Hold up.
You said
Nick and Nickelodeon.
Nick. I don't know. Well, what about Nick? Jr.?
Man.
Remember they used to have Nick Jr.?
I think he's wrapped up in all of that.
Okay.
I hate to be saying stuff because I don't have the say, but if I'm not mistaken, he is.
Okay. Well, he got a lot of kids. He keep having kids.
Did he have
Ain't
another
nothing wrong
one?
with that. That man
He
got
take care of them and he be in their lives.
Y'all, he getting ready. The young lady, this would be number 12.
Yeah. Was it the first part of the year he had one to pass, the little baby.
Brain cancer.
I can't believe you said that, Tanya. We got to bag up.
What is it with Nick and Nickelodeon? Nothing.
It's a paid television network owned by Paramount Global through its Paramount Media Networks division.
Okay, I'm gonna research it, and I have it. He has something to do with those Nickelodeon shows. Now I know I'm not crazy.
I don't think the network is named after him, though.
No,
I don't think that's his network.
No, I think
okay. I mean, okay.
Y'all help us out. Anybody out there know?
I don't want them to help us out. I'm gonna find it.
What is Van saying yes?
So he's got.
Wait a minute. I don't know what Van saying yes to.
Send Van a link.
Probably has baby number 13 on the way. Look at Robert Hunter.
Probably so, but yeah.
It is. He said it is. I don't know. We're gonna wait and see what Van's saying yes to. You're right. Okay, I'm gonna ask you this again, Van. Van Smith is Nickelodeon. Does it belongs to Nick Cannon? I don't see that. I just Googled it.
Hmm. Well, yeah. Well, while they doing that, he on baby number 12. He's got the twins by Mariah Carey. Their names are Monroe and Moroccan. All right. He's got a child named Carrie, Golden Sagon, Powerful Queen, and Rise Messiah, Zion, Zillion, Legendary Love, Onyx, and Bree. I can't pronounce the last name. That's a lot of kids.
He lost a child, a 5-month-old child.
Yeah.
In the first part of the year.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So
They say he's the chairman that helps develop.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that's why he keep having all these
But why you saying do I think he's having? Why?
because you said, when he lost the child, and I get
But that was child number what?
That was like child number, had to be 12 if he on 13. If he on 12, it was 11. It was the baby of all of them.
he was the 7th child. His name was Zen.
Oh wow. My brother and sister-in-law said little baby has 10 babies, all by different women.
Ooh, Jesus.
Oh, Boosie has a lot of children too, don't he?
Nick, if I'm not mistaken, too, Nick has a couple set of twins, doesn't he?
By Mariah Carey.
He has one set by Mariah, but I think he has a couple of sets, doesn't he?
So he only have 2 kids by Mariah?
He has the twins by Mariah, one set of twins by Mariah.
Monroe and Moroccan. But yeah, I just thought, I was like, wow.
Listen,
baby number 12, really?
Listen.
Nickelodeon executive.
Tom, listen to this.
With each one, I mean,
listen to this. Listen to this, Tom. Now he just doing what the Bible said: be fruitful and multiply.
Okay, I get that, but they all in different homes and everything. My great aunt had 12 kids, but they were all there together. Same mom, same dad. But I guess that's what money do for you.
But now here's
none
the
of the
thing.
baby mamas having a problem, so why does anyone else? Oh. I'm sure they don't have no problem. Why? They getting paid.
That's what I was about to say, because
and let's be honest with you, all of it may not be his fault. He may be getting trapped in some of that.
Now he ain't getting trapped. Nick love the children. Listen, and Nick takes care. He is in all of his babies.
Nick just played a major role. Oh, okay.
Okay, but now I knew he had something to do with Nickelodeon, but Nick take care of them children now.
Okay.
Yeah, he love his children now.
Y'all done gone too far talking about Nick.
Now, Tom, you spilling tea.
I know.
But Nick won't. I know a man right now, and
we all know that
he said he wants some more, and he bought at the age of 65.
That's too much.
Honey, people want people, long as they taking care of them. Let that man have, let that I'm gonna tell you what my cousin just say. The baby mamas have no problem. They getting that money.
Yeah, I guess so. All right.
Up Nick, that money.
Hey, Tom.
Huh?
Nick say he want to take you out.
Say nothing. Say nothing. Go on, Nick.
Don't come on the show. Don't come on the show. Don't come on the show in about 10 months. Talking about
I'm out to take leave, paternity leave.
No, ma'am.
Don't come on here. First thing I'm gonna say, who be that baby daddy?
Yeah. Who that
baby daddy?
No way.
Who the pappy?
Hey, if we see you, if we see you and it look like you don't show up, Hey,
Hey, that hair getting
I'ma say
long now. That hair looking kind of long now.
Y'all crazy. Okay.
hey, if you go to the iPhone 14 in about 9 months, 10
Well,
months,
that's what's up.
hey, we'll know. Nick.
I may have one Monday.
Uh-oh. Come on now. That we ain't gotta wait for Nick.
Y'all, okay. So y'all know it's Magic City Classic weekend, right?
That's right. Classic weekend.
That's why I'm finna hit you with. Look at this.
Weekend.
McDonald's.
Almost Magic City Classic.
That's
And
why I was asking. They were doing big things.
yeah, they doing big things. But guess what?
What?
They saying they may this may be the last classic.
At Legion Field.
At Legion Field.
How y'all feel about that?
Well, let me tell you how I feel about it. There's a new stadium in Birmingham that is state of the art. Don't put us out there with, and I say this all the time, quit giving us stuff you don't want. The bathrooms, the seats, and everything else. We want to be in state of art. I don't care if it don't hold as much as Legion Field. Put us in the good stuff, the good area. Now, honestly, I've never been to
a classic.
a Magic City Classic. And people tell me, you don't know what you're missing. I say, you're right. If you've never been, you don't know what you're missing. I don't like to be in big crowds like that.
Well,
I like to be able to maneuver.
Well, you got so much going on at the classic. You got people that just go to the parade. You got people that go to the game, that just go down and hang out.
Right.
Tailgate.
Right. See, I grew up going to the classic. My mom is A&M alumni, so that was just like the Iron Bowl to me. But moving from Legion Field, it's like it's taking a history away. But why can't they just upgrade Legion Field?
You know why? You know why? They gave it to us. I don't hear nobody.
Well,
I don't hear nobody. They gave it to us. It's a reason why folks give you stuff.
Right.
No.
We on Real Talk.
Okay, now when you say they gave it to us, what do you actually mean?
They gave it to the African Americans.
And look what we did with it.
And UAB don't even play there anymore.
But when you say they gave it to us, who else does? I mean, I don't know who they gave it to. I hear you saying they gave it to us. I didn't think they gave it to anybody. It was still the cities. We're just still doing the classic.
Okay. Who's the city? Who's Birmingham really? Yeah.
But
listen, if you actually thought that this classic really meant something to the city of Birmingham, would you not want to put them in facilities that are up to par?
But I think that's why we need to be clear. We need to be clear in saying that they're not. That it's not going to be at Legion Field, because it is a possibility that it's going to the new stadium.
Possibility.
Come on.
Possibility.
They article that I read, talked to this guy. He's actually from Birmingham, and these were his words. He said, it's almost like a family reunion. You see your old friends that you ain't seen in a long time. But he said that's what he loved about the classic. He said, I understand that protective is a new thing and everyone wants something new and shiny. He said, but the old gray lady is still always going to be our home for the classic.
Well, it's a lot of room around that stadium. You can maneuver better and you can tailgate. I already knew that. I've had this discussion in the break room at work.
Okay.
But again, when you got that new state of the art, I mean, let us enjoy that too.
Well, yeah. So, all right. So, yeah.
Well, let me ask a question with the
look at Sean. Man, please.
Bring it to gas.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question since we are there. Now, is the new stadium Birmingham's too? Both of y'all sitting there like the screen froze. Pastor, is the new stadium Birmingham's too? I'm asking. I don't know.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Okay. I think it is.
It is
What's the name of it?
Protective Stadium.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Protective Stadium. But you know, it's right over there by Top Golf. It's congested over there to me.
What is the new stadium?
Mm-hmm.
I heard that, and I heard it'd be hard to tailgate around there.
You can't. You can't.
But they're not finna put any money in Legion Field. I'm telling you that now.
Not if you done built Protective Stadium. Why would you?
Because it can be another place of business. That's a huge place. That's a huge place now. Listen, Legion Field holds more than that Protected Stadium. It does hold more.
Yeah.
So you could upgrade it while, you know what I'm saying? You can put some money in there and get it up to par, and people can still use it.
Okay. Prime example.
High school games and everything.
That's why they used to do a lot of the state championships, high school state championships.
But maybe I'm ignorant to what's going on. Is Legion Field closing, or is the contract up with the Classic and Legion Field?
I don't have that information.
So they're still doing stuff at Legion Field. It's just time for the contract with Legion Field and the Classic people, isn't it?
We don't know,
if I'm not mistaken. But that's just like in Gaston. That's just like in Gaston when you look at
and Google it.
Look, it says the agreement with the city of Birmingham to play at Legion Field ends this year. It says no decision that has been made to where next year's matchup will be.
Right. So they're still using Legion Field. The agreement between Legion Field and whoever, as far as the Classic goes, is up.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. And then when you look at it, thank you. But when you look at it, it's just like a situation with Gaston, and the venue and Convention Hall. I'm sure that's not the same situation because the Convention Hall is closed. Legion Field is not closed. Mm-hmm. The contract is just okay.
Right. All right. So while we on HBCUs, Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson, they had a conversation. Did y'all hear about that?
I heard bits and pieces, but talk to me about it, because I'm gonna see this has been my thing. Go ahead. Okay.
Well, they didn't have a conversation. Bo Jackson spoke highly of Deion Sanders and possibility of him. Somebody asked him, would he recommend him to come to Auburn? And he said that he would. He felt like what he was doing at JSU, Jackson State, was good, and that I think Deion on 60 Minutes, and he talked about the possibility of, if going to a bigger school. What do y'all think about that?
That's what I was about to say. That was my fear. And I actually had this conversation with one of my aunts just a couple of months ago. The fear that the progress that he was making with SWAC at Jacksonville, that somebody is going to snatch him up. The possibility of that is going to happen.
Right.
He has... when you came on a week or so ago and you were talking about the Alabama State coach and the little confusion or whatever with that, and Deion, and he said Deion wasn't SWAC. I think it was a matter of jealousy or envy, or just saying that here he's this celebrity, but he has brought more exposure to the SWAC conference as well as to Jacksonville State. So now Jack State. What else knows? Now somebody's gonna pick him up and take him to one of the
well. Let me tell you why he said. And I looked at the 60 Minute show.
Uh-huh.
He won't to bring exposure to HBCUs. He's done that. They just had their homecoming. He had Snoop Dogg was there and Rick Ross, all them was down there. I don't know if y'all ever seen the pictures, or if you looked at the 60 Minutes, if you looked at the football field when he first got there and what he did with that football field. He said he reached out to Walmart, made one call to Walmart, and they redone the whole field. But the only, and I've heard rumors that he's been down to Auburn, even most recently. But when I looked at this article, Bo Jackson is talking about why Deion Sanders possibly of being Auburn's dropped the truth bomb on Deion Sanders' possibility of being Auburn football coach. He said the only reason they said, would you entertain a Power 5 school like Alabama, Auburn, Michigan? Yeah. Deion said he would. He'd be crazy not to entertain it. He said the reason he would is for his coaches. Now realize this. Yes, he had HBCU. Yes, Deion made a career and has money, but he have a staff. Just because he's wealthy don't mean his staff is wealthy. And yeah, he has Warren Sapp and some of the other people on the staff, but people they have bills. And people going to be pulling for those coaches. Because the first thing people do when they can't get the head coach, they go after coordinators and make them head coaches. So whether he entertained the Power Fives or not, his coaching staff gonna start getting calls to entertain, and because they're not making, I don't know if they paying Deion $500,000, but you got people like Nick Saban making millions,
right?
I mean, almost 10 million a year or more.
Yeah.
And this man making 500,000. You know what I'm saying? And if he making 500,000, what is his coaching staff making? You know, his son is a quarterback. He's a senior this year at Jackson State. He still have a son there. And I know, and listen, I said the same thing as you did, Bishop. Man, that'll be a slap in the face for you to pump up HBCUs and get everybody to start going to HBCUs. And you're talking about how we need to attend here. Then you leave and go to somewhere else because they paying you more money. Until I heard the 60-minute interview and hear him say about his concern was his coaching staff. Because to be honest with you, Nick Saban is good. I think he's one of the best. But you know what he's best at? Pulling coordinators together to get his job done. If you don't have good coordinators, you don't win.
Right.
And if you look at Nick Saban, what he's been doing in the last 5 to 10 years, he bring in former proven coaches in and add them to his staff. He had Pruitt on his staff, who was a former head coach. He had the one that Kiffin, Lane Kiffin. Kiffin done been in the pros. He was at USC. He didn't have a job. He brought him in, made him attractive, sent him off. Now he's at a good school. He had Sarkisian. Sarkisian got let go. To me, what Nick Saban does, he rehabilitate former coaches, make them attractive by winning national championships, and to make other people desire them to make them head coaches again. And that's what he's been doing. He's a great administrator. Your coordinators, that's why people go after his coordinators. You know, Kirby Smart just won the national championship last year, was his defensive coordinator for years. Now he's at Georgia. They're successful.
Put up Jacqueline Valencia. Put up her and I think he would entertain it. And in as much, I think the exposure that he has brought, I think that would play heavily on his decision making with moving further or not. Because here's the thing, You don't go to a HBCU expecting to be compared to Alabama or Auburn or Mississippi State or any of those schools. It is like you say, he's given half of his salary back. So you already know
to
that's
build the locker rooms. If man, if you looked at the field that they had holes in the field, it looked nothing like it looked now.
Mm-hmm.
The locker room, the state of the art locker room that he built for those guys. Listen, he even said that he felt like they need to have their last name on the back of their jersey so that their grandmother and mother can be proud to see their last name on the back of their jersey. There are a lot of HBCUs don't have that.
Right.
He brought them up. I mean,
he really did.
I mean, I hate to see him leave.
Me too.
But you know, he deserved it. He deserved whatever he get because he's done a tremendous job at Jackson State.
He did, and you know this.
They didn't even have water.
Right.
They called him taking a bath in the swimming pool because they didn't have water down there in Mississippi. You know.
Right. And so ESPN College Game Day, they're gonna be in Jackson, Mississippi, this weekend. ESPN College Game Day at a HBCU.
Yeah.
Wow, that's major. Yeah. That's major.
I've always loved Dion. A lot of people say he was flashy, but that was my guy. I named my nephews, both of my nephews, I call them Prime Time. Jamar and DJ. Because I mean, if you play like Prime Time, I call them Prime Time. I mean, I've always loved Dion. I mean, Falcons was garbage. Yes. He won Major League Baseball with the Atlanta Braves. He was playing baseball and football. I remember he played a football game, got on a plane and flew and made it to a baseball game while they was playing the World Series. Mm-hmm. I mean, one of the best athletes you ever want to see.
He is. I like Prime Time. I like Deion Sanders. I like what he's doing down there at Jackson. They play Southern on Saturday at 1. So I really do. I like that. I really do.
Yeah, but I have mixed emotions about him moving on, but
I want
he deserves it. I think he deserves it. Yeah. Now listen, he got a lot of hate in the HBCU too now.
There's a
lot of people that don't like him because of what he's doing at Jackson State. And then some of the head coaches of the other schools are hate, they don't like him.
Well, when you really think about it, he's been able to do that at Jack State because he's there. And he has brought, that's why I feel the hate came with the Alabama State coach when he said Dion wasn't swag. When you think about it, that he's bringing exposure to swag, but it's not like his being at Jack State is putting money in at Alabama State and A&M and other HBCUs. So you're gonna get, to me, some vibe of that just simply because his presence at Jack State doesn't make it like that money is gonna come to Alabama State or whatever. So I think that some of that will come, that jealousy is there because he has made such a difference with that program.
Yeah. Robert Smith, you're incorrect. I just Googled it.
Yeah,
they will October 29th. They're going to be in Jackson, Mississippi, where the Southern University Jaguars take on the Jackson State University Tigers.
They're hosting.
They will be there. Game day will be in Jackson, Mississippi.
Right, sure will. Yep.
And listen, I saw this right here by Rigby, that the boosters wouldn't have it, and I know where he's going with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you the issue with him coming to Auburn. I don't think it has anything to do with race. This is what I do believe. They owe so many coaches by buying out their contract. They can't afford to let the one they have now go. They probably still paying Gene Chizik. They still paying Gus Malzahn.
Are they still paying Tommy Tuberville?
I hope
No,
not.
they're not. Not. I don't think they're going there. You're going too far now.
Look, you go too far.
Yeah, but they done paid too many, and not only that, but they paying other people at the school contracts where they done bought them out. Who knows what happened with the AD? He left early, so they may have given him some type of incentive, but they owe so many coaches that they probably couldn't afford to give a new coach, first of all, buy this guy out of his contract and then offer anybody else a decent salary. So they're gonna have to ride this. They're probably gonna have to ride this out with Haskins.
Well, now here's the thing, and I know we kind of, I know we got to move on, but I mean, come on. That's right. Thank you, George.
He said,
"Come on, let me say this. Why can't they just? I mean, right? Why everybody feel like? I mean, I don't understand colleges anyway. What's their record this year?
Don't do that.
No, ma'am.
I mean, I'm not.
It's
okay,
not good.
well, whatever their record
it's not good, and it don't look like it's gonna get better.
Okay, so with that being said, sometimes it takes time. Prime example. Let me bring it home. The Titans.
No comparison.
It is comparison, Dre, on the level that they're on. How many people counted them out at the beginning of the year?
Let me tell you this right now. Let me tell you what their record is right now.
Gaston City?
No, what I'm saying, no, not Gaston City. I'm saying Auburn. Sometimes it takes time to build a program and to get the people in place. I've never really understood why, if you in your first year of a contract or second year of a contract and your record isn't what it is, boom, you got to go.
Well, he had a lot of he had a lot of issues. They was really, we thought that they was gonna get rid of him last year because the first he got rid of receiving coach right after they had a bad game. The players started transferring. They was trying to find out what was the deal, why all the players and stuff are leaving. It got real bad.
So it's some of it is actually his coaching and not necessarily the record.
It's gonna probably be his coaching.
Okay, his coaching style.
At the end of the day, he's responsible. At the end of the day. At the end of the day, and everybody.
George made a good point.
Everybody's standards. Listen to this. Everybody's standards is Alabama standards. Everybody's standards is Alabama standards. Okay, so listen. A lot of coaches have gotten fired because they're not doing what Alabama's doing. Tom, what you doing over there?
I'm good.
Tom, let me tell you something. When you are on Real Talk,
I am good.
Pastor Z does not want you to move. He wants you to be in one place, glued to your screen.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you, like Mr. Hawkins used to say, my teacher in middle school, sit your gurum smacksum down somewhere.
We're good.
Okay. But good. Okay. So we've given Auburn enough attention.
No, let me give you their record.
Oh Lord. We know they it's like really what 4-2 or 4-3.
I don't know if they won 4 games, but they're still packing out the stadium. This is so true. If you are working up under somebody else's recruits. Yeah. Bo Nix is a perfect example. Yeah. Bo ain't nothing. Right, he just happened to be over there in Oregon now. Come on.
He had a good last.
Auburn, his record is 3-4.
3-4. I knew it was 4-3 or 3-4. you know. But I feel like with anything, and the comparison that I was making with the Gaston City Titans, they've had those tough years, but look at where they are today. You sometimes you got to give a program time to build and get the
That's
people
true.
where you need them to be.
That's true.
That's the point that I'm trying to make.
I understand what you're saying, but it's funny to me how folk can give some folk time to build one,
What you saying?
but they're not
Look
willing
at all
to do
your neck.
it, especially when they don't look like us. But then the ones look like us, we want to kill them. I
Well,
don't hear
I'm
nobody.
saying, get a man time. That's what you keep doing all that change, and you.
Well, they ain't gonna have no choice. They don't have a choice. I don't think they have a choice. I think it's tacky to even bring prime time down there.
Right.
Why the man is still there? I think that is very tacky.
Did they bring him down there?
Yeah, they said he had been. They had seen Dion had been to Auburn. That's when all the rumors started circulating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That he had been down to Auburn, and it's been a minute. So I don't think they're going to be able to afford to buy him out. They buying it. They already paying healthy for the ones that they already let go. Yeah.
So, well, they might beat Alabama.
Do what?
They might beat Alabama this year.
You want to get off my? You want to get off my show right now?
I mean, really, because it ain't like. Well, let me hush.
They say he done been down there twice.
Okay.
He said, "I don't believe that to be true." You don't believe what to be true, Pastor Thomas?
Rem, what you don't believe?
By the way, Pastor Thomas' nephew is Robbie Ashford is the starting quarterback for Auburn, and he's having a good season.
Okay.
Right, transferred. I mean,
he transferred from Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
He played two sports. He played baseball and football.
Yeah. Shout out to Robbie.
Okay.
If Alabama keeps playing like they have in the past, Auburn might win.
Okay.
That's right.
I know Jay Rigby ain't on here listening to y'all.
Okay. Now we not finna start nothing.
Dion has been down there. Okay. I mean, I've heard that. Somebody say he's been down there twice. I've heard he was spotted down there. That's what started the rumor.
Right. That's what started it. He was spotted.
Maybe his son gonna transfer them.
Well, it'll have to be his other son. But here's the thing about athletes nowadays. The NILs, I don't care where you are. Them NILs are coming in. HBCU, Power 5. If you are, I said this, that number 11 for Tennessee that scored 5 touchdowns against Alabama. If he didn't have an NIL, he got a whole lot of them now.
Right.
I didn't know the kid until he played Alabama and he kept going in the end zone. I'm like, they can't stop this guy.
Right.
This guy don't score 5 touchdowns. He set a record.
Right. Well, Shador Sanders got one too with the headphones. What was the I can't think of the name of it. Was it he got something since
I'm sure he getting some NILs. He getting some NILs.
He is.
At number 11, I mean, he's gonna skyrocket. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Because beating Alabama and that is the standard. That's what they the next step is SEC championship and national championship. But you talking about hadn't beat Alabama in 15 tries? Mm-hmm. First time Tennessee had beat them in 15 tries. Mm-hmm. So let's talk. Bishop. There's some things that's on your mind. Is that all the tea you gonna spill today?
Yes. Well, I ran across. I used to love the Golden Girls. Y'all remember Betty?
Cousin Betty White.
Yes. She played. What was her name? I'm sorry. What was her name on the show. Was it Ruth? Rose.
Rose, yeah.
Rose. So I like quotes and stuff. And so she said that her mother used to always tell her, the older you get, the better you get, unless you're a banana.
Tom.
Funny.
I want
Tom
you to
Tom.
stick to spilling tea.
Don't try to tell no jokes. Just really.
Oh, that was
We
funny.
get it. We get it. But just to make us laugh, I'm laughing more at you than I am the joke.
That was so funny though.
But listen, and I
Like,
could see I could see Betty White saying that because really she was a golden girl. But
right,
Betty White's career did not really take what the luncheon that it took until she was in her 80s.
right.
And it was the millennials that really kind of catapulted her to the level that she was because she started doing everything Saturday Night Live. So I could see her.
Everything.
I don't know. I don't know if I would be just at the joke, but I get it.
She started doing everything. What you talking about? Mouth on her. Dirty. Okay. All right, Bishop.
Okay, and I'll do it quickly because I know we've been on already a minute. But I don't know if I want to do well. Let me go to the recent school shooting first. The one in St. Louis. Well, I want to talk about the one that was in St. Louis this past week, I think it was. Yeah. With the guy. Let me get to my notes.
While she getting to her notes, Tom is gonna stay with us, y'all, throughout the show. So she can dive in with us on these conversations. I didn't forget to take off just in case my critics.
Unless in case somebody trying to tell you what to do on the show.
You know how they do it.
Okay. Now that the school shooting this past week with the 19-year-old who had graduated the year before in St. Louis, his name was Orlando Harris.
Okay.
He killed a teacher and a student. I kind of wanted to make comparison with the St. Louis shooting and then the shooting with the guy he's on trial, Ethan Crumley's shooting. You know, Ethan's parents were arrested as well because they felt like they did not do anything to prevent or keep him from doing what he did, and he was having the issues that he was or whatever. So his parents are being convicted or were arrested as well. But for Orlando Harris, 19, had just graduated. His parents saw signs of mental problems. So there's like a paper trail where his parents and family members tried to get him help like weeks before he carried out this shooting. And you know, we were talking about earlier, he because of that. See, I think that parents and people, you know, parents, relatives, friends have a responsibility as well.
They do.
The point that I'm trying to make.
Right.
They tried to get him help, and because he was placed in a mental facility because they saw things going on or whatever, and it wasn't voluntarily. When he got ready to go purchase a gun, he could not purchase the gun with the background check. He didn't pass the background check because of that. We were talking earlier. He bought that AR-15 from a private gun person, from a private seller. Okay, so after buying that gun from a private seller, his parents or relatives reported that he had that gun. Again, we're talking about the responsibility that parents and relatives have. They reported that he had it. You remember, we were hearing, all of us were talking about, we were hearing that the gun was taken. The gun wasn't taken by authorities. Another relative took the gun out of his possession because really the policeman could not take the gun from him. So a relative took it. So that's the question, how he got it back from the relatives. So I'm saying that with
Was
everything.
this prior to the shooting or after the shooting?
No, it was prior to the shooting. He was in them. They had him admitted to a mental facility.
Okay.
When he comes out of that mental facility, he buys the gun. His parents or relatives reported and called the police and wanted the gun out of the house.
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't have the authority to take the gun, so a relative took the gun.
Okay.
Some kind of way he got it back from that relative. He confiscated it or whatever it was from that relative and carried out that crime. But the thing for me is that there is a paper trail where those parents and those relatives saw signs.
Right. Yeah.
And
when
they
you
was
look
trying
at,
to help. They was trying to.
right, when you look at Ethan Crumbley, even the paper trail that they had, they went and purchased the guns for him.
And now they in trouble, right?
Yeah, they're locked up.
Wow.
They've been locked up from day one. They were on the run, but from day one, they've been locked up. So I'm making that comparison as to say, when we notice things, even though it's a family member,
Yeah.
because he just graduated. He was he graduated last year. And I know with some of the reports that I was hearing today, they think that possibly it was targeted. And he didn't just go just to, there's a reason and something, but he's dead. So now they really don't
So he
really
did.
know.
The one that did the shooting most recently died.
They shot him.
Okay.
He shot a teacher and a student. Yeah, he shot a teacher and a student. So that I wanted to kind of lift that comparison between the two of parents being involved and seeing signs and being proactive as you possibly can, right. And not so much being proactive as you possibly can, but also if something does happen, you don't end up like the parents of Ethan Crumbley, who saw signs, and instead of working to get him some help or handle certain things with him, they didn't. That's not what they did.
Yeah. And we had a counselor on and a therapist, and it is important when you see signs, you recognize signs, don't ignore the signs.
Right.
Your life is in jeopardy as well as anybody else's life could be in jeopardy when things like this are taking place. And we seeing now that parents are being held responsible for these type of actions that are taking place, especially when we ignore it.
Right.
You just as guilty as the individual that commit the different crimes. That's why I really harp on having SRO officers in every school, full-time SRO officers, and then parents. We need to have conversations with our children before they go to school. Talk to them. Heads need to be on swivel. Teach them. I think it need to be something that we need to teach our young people about how to recognize signs. I'm telling you, I remember when 9/11 hit. And I got on the plane, and a little bit later, And I was paranoid. It was my first time getting on the plane since 9/11. And I saw folks getting on the plane, trench coats and stuff. And I'm like, they would sit down. I'm sitting down and I'm looking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what they getting up for? They need to sit down. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I don't know what's
That's the
on
way
their
you be
mind.
doing us on this show.
Listen, I don't give nobody the benefit of the doubt when you know what I'm saying. I don't take it as if it can't happen to me.
That's right.
So when that person would be standing up and not sitting down, I'm like,
sit down.
You know, because at that time, you remember they was like going to the cockpit.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And so I'm like, what is he doing? You know, and folks laughing at me, you know, but it's the truth.
Oh.
I'm like, because I'm ready to fight for my life.
Right.
I'm ready to fight for my life. If I'm out to fight in order to save me and the rest of the people on the plane, I'm going down fighting. I'm not going to be sitting back there on the back of the plane while this man up there in the cockpit doing some crazy stuff. I'm trying to, you know, because I'm looking. I'm like, what is he standing up for?
You have to pay attention to your surroundings.
You better.
You
do. Better. You better. Even at work, I've thought sometime even where I'm working at and where I work.
Right.
You know, because everybody out there ain't the brightest where I work at. And sometimes I pass them and I look at them and sometimes I get past them, I turn around and look to see if they what's on their mind, if they come in, if they finna do something. You know, you have active shooters everywhere.
Right.
So you can't be too careful. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Can't be too careful. Well, let's talk about this young man.
Oof. Bless
all he got going on.
Blessing. Blessing.
Is that a grill? What is that? Put that back up.
That's probably a grill in his mouth.
Torture.
Kanye West. He preferred you to call him Yeezy.
Yeezy, right.
Yeah. I saw him on a podcast and he said people that call him Kanye, it's like they calling him Cassius Clay when his name is Ali. Because he changed his name to Yeezy.
Mm-hmm.
So when you refuse to call him Yeezy, it's like you calling him. Now he say a lot of stuff. Now let me say this. I don't know if you all ever watched Charleston White.
Who? Yes.
With some things he makes sense. Some things I think he go a little deep off the edge. Mm-hmm. But with some things he makes sense. Now here's what Charleston White said. When he went to what's the guy that got killed? That was London. That has a kid by London.
Nipsey
Hussle.
Mm-hmm.
When he went to his funeral, and he'll say in a minute, if all of those rappers, he don't like the rappers, and he can say it,
right?
And he said a lot. He done talked about Bootsy and all of them.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that he says, and when I look at Kanye, it kind of brings that to my memory. He says when he was at Nipsey Hussle funeral, all he heard, his mom, his brother, and everybody was praising him by his real name. He didn't hear not one person say Nipsey. He said when he say F to those rappers, their names, he don't really mean the person that they really are. Mm-hmm. He's talking about the rapper. Mm-hmm. He said because the rapper is the character that they are playing. He said the guy that they bragged about wasn't Nipsey. Mm-hmm. Nipsey on the record talking about this, talking about that, talking about this. He said, but the real person that he's talking that real person is the one you ought to be praising and talking about. And so when I look at Kanye is controversial. He'll take some stuff that he know that'll blow up in the media. Mm-hmm. Some things he makes sense out of, but I think he do a lot of stuff because that's his character, and he need to kind of talk off the wall in order to keep people on the edge of their seats. Do you remember when the rappers like NWA and Ice Cube used to beef with each other, and you had Kool Moe Dee and LL Cool J beefing with each other? You know what they did? It sold records. I used to think that they did that on purpose in order for people to go out and see what they was going to say about each other next. I think the same thing with Kanye. I think in order to stay relevant, that he say things in order to remain relevant.
You think so?
I do.
think
I don't
Kanye,
think he believe
Kanye
everything he say. I think he say that stuff to
I
get
think he's
attention.
mentally disturbed.
I'm gonna tell
I
you,
think he's mentally disturbed.
he's got some mental health issues.
Because the stuff Kanye says is, I think he's kind of spiraled out of control since his mom died. And I think when he's off his meds, he says stuff.
Right.
And he does stuff. As long as he's on his medicine,
right.
He
cause he up and down. Sometimes
right.
He's in the middle.
Right.
Like when he's off his medicine, they spiral. It just wild out.
And I think I think that he has, I do think he's controversial, but I think that it is a mental issue with him. And when he's on his medication, he behaves. When he's not on his medication,
yeah. Now, you know, he made the statement, and he said this too many times. And I said this to a couple of guys. This is his problem. He boasts and brag about how much money he got. I'm the richest black man. That's what he kept saying. I'm a billionaire. He'll say that to anybody that he's interviewing with. I'm worth billions. How much you worth? So I can say this. You know what I'm saying? I've seen interviews that he's done, and he's constantly bragging about his money. You know, we can't brag about having more money.
Nope.
You know,
and the way to get him is what they doing to him. Now he came out, he attacked the Jews. He attacked the Jews. Here's the companies that dropped him: Skechers, TJ Maxx, Christie's, Foot Locker, Adidas, a Gap, Def
and I think Adidas was the largest.
Honda Sports. Let's see. MRC Entertainment, Vogue, JP Morgan Chase, UTA, CAA.
And White, you're reading that, but here's the thing, and I think I mentioned earlier, he has said things before. And he has not experienced the cancellation that he is experiencing now.
Right. He done went from a billionaire to 400 million. He done dropped that low. And he's about to be average.
Right.
Because there's a lot of folks that is top of him now, you know, and they said he apologized in a way, but then he talks about Hitler is his hero. He say a lot of things. And reason why I say sometimes I feel like he just say things because he feel like he can afford to say it, and people gonna say, oh, that's off the wall. Let's interview him. Let's talk to him. It's because even with Bishop T and Pastor Z, we can actually carry on. If you watch wrestling, for instance, you look at The Rock, you look at some of those people that are wrestlers, that's the role they play. And I believe Kanye, I don't believe he believe everything come out of his mouth. I believe he say some things because he know it's going to upset some people, and it's going to give him the publicity that he's looking for.
But if you look at what those rappers say, they don't say the anti-Semitic things that he says. They don't say the bias and the racial things. They don't. They talk about but Kanye steps into a place to where, and I don't want to get into the Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, but he not only says it, but he walks it out.
Yeah.
He walks it out. It's more to me than controversial. I think it's who he is. I think it's who he is because and I hear what you're saying as far as that person saying about those rappers. That's their stage person. Their stage brand and life and attitude, and they're really someone else off stage. Kanye is who he is on stage and off stage, at home and in the streets.
Right. Bipolar.
And need to be on his medication. You know, and I feel like this because I heard some bloggers say this week what they're about to do to Kanye West is make him an example, make an example out of him.
But here's the thing: if you're a billionaire, why did you need Adidas? Because at the end of the day, them Yeezys that he's selling, they're gonna sell anyway. Guarantee. You going under Adidas when you got all this money, build your own company to carry your shoes. That's what I didn't understand. But here's the thing. I'm gonna say this about what Kanye said. Kanye ain't the first one who have had issues with the Jewish culture.
Right.
Ice Cube said it when he was attacking NWA. There's a reason why he left NWA because they was allowing a Jew to do what he was doing. And here's what, and you know what? I was having this conversation with someone at work. And you know what they said? And it was an old school guy. He said, Jews been doing that. If you look at New Edition, if you go back and look at that, remember, they was giving them pennies. Right. And Jews ran everything. He said, you remember the little statement that used to hear people, they Jewed you out or something?
Yeah.
They said that way it come from the Jewish people. So he messed around and said, I'm sleeping, but in the morning, I'm going in on the Jewish people. And he's trying to make a point. But I say this all the time. Don't get taught a lesson trying to teach one. And that's what just happened to Kanye.
That's right. I feel sorry for him.
I don't know that.
But he boasts and brag about how much he have all the time. And I think the people know, okay, we're going to show you.
Right. He has no guidance. None at all. You know.
Do you think he doesn't have guidance or he's just not adhering to those people who are around him?
Well, he's not going to have anybody around him that's going to tell him the truth.
Yeah, he has.
That's wrong. That's what's wrong with rich folk. Right. They only going to have yes people around them.
Now, you can't say that about our rich people.
Yeah. You tell me one rich person is listening to it. Okay, Donald Trump. They told that joker to put his phone down. He was tweeting anyway. He's still tweeting. You follow what I'm saying? People that have power or have money do what they want to do. Charles Barkley said it about Michael Jordan. He said the reason why he'll never be a successful business owner when it comes to the team, his team that he have, because he only want yes people around him. Everybody around him is afraid to tell him no.
Right.
Because they know they'll lose their job.
Yeah. I feel sorry for Kanye though. He bless his little heart. But yeah, he's bipolar. He need to, I don't know. I
don't. Again, I know we say it's a mental thing, but I still say, and Riley Rigby said it here, attention seeker.
He's definitely that too.
I mean, he knew wearing that Trump hat what that was gonna do. Now you know he know that.
But is he a Trump supporter? He didn't just wear the hat. That's not. But I think that's my thing. He's not just doing things or saying things. He's backing it up with action.
If you go back and look at his videos, his rap videos before Trump was president, Trump was in some of his videos. They've been cool.
Exactly.
They've been cool.
My point exactly. He ain't just some of this stuff is in him.
I mean,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you say something, you go on. You drop it out there and you go back to your life. He's dropping it out there or putting it out there and walking it out.
But see, he dared to be different.
Yeah.
He's very different. If you look at his clothing, them shoes are ugly.
I never liked them.
Oh, the Crocs
I
and
just
all
can't
of.
believe-
My
I
nephew
just
got some Crocs, and I saw somebody with some tennis shoes most recently. They're not cute shoes,
Nah, I never liked
but
them.
they expensive. And you
Yeah,
know what?
yeah.
Expensive sell. People want to be able to afford. They'll buy stuff that are expensive just to say, "I got these shoes on,
Right,
these
right.
Yeezys."
Right. I never liked them.
And his name is Ye. Y-E.
Yeah.
He's changed it to Y-E.
Yeah, they got photos with him wearing the
And not only the big hat, but they got photos of him. And one photo, his shoes are so big, I don't even see
Oh
how
yeah.
he,
And you
I
see, he
don't
had
know.
when they were wearing the mask, he had a thing covering his whole face. Like, what is wrong with this cat? But again, I say,
I don't know why y'all didn't know something was wrong when the first song on that album was. I can't even remember that it was two of them.
Donda.
But now in that that's his mama's name, ain't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why y'all sitting up thinking everything all right.
Now the best music he ever put out is the gospel music now. Now his gospel music is killing it. Have you listened to his gospel music?
I've heard some of it.
You need to go listen to his gospel music.
I've heard one song from his gospel, but
He done his gospel music is the bomb. I was playing it when I had praise break in the prayer line on the radio station. Killing it. When I tell you killing it, he's killing it now. Now he's an artist.
Jesus Walked. Yeah, I like that song. Yeah.
But that wasn't even on his gospel. That ain't on his gospel. That's one of his rap CDs. You need to go check out his gospel. And I can't think of the people that he do it with. Kanye, but it's a group that he sings with. They are very gifted.
Didn't he have something to do with Joel Osteen Church one time? He was doing something.
He was on there speaking.
Yeah.
But let's get to this. He's being sued. He's being sued because he agrees with another person that is very controversial, Candace Owens, about the George Floyd death. He said that the man's knee wasn't even touching his neck and that they hit him with the fentanyl that killed him. And the family is suing him. Drinks, I think it's Drinks Champ that he was interviewed on. They getting sued for it. That statement. Now he agreed again. Candace Owens is controversial.
Well, he got with Candace Owens on the White Lives Matter thing.
Of course,
but then wearing the clothing and all of that.
Yeah. And so
I think that we should do what Tom Tom suggested that we do for is it Grinder?
Grinder.
We should pray for him. That's what I think.
Oh yeah, we definitely.
Because they definitely he is fixing to definitely be made an example of.
Right. They're gonna tear his world apart.
And this is council. This the council culture we live in.
That's right.
You have to be careful, even as we gather ourselves weekly on Real Talk. We have to be careful what we say. When you look at people like Kevin Hart, who the last couple of years ago, it's most people, comedians and actors dream to host the Oscars or whatever it was. And for something that he did years ago comes back up, he's already apologized. Now the Oscars want you to apologize again. He says, you know what? No. So we're in that culture now to where what we say can follow us and will follow us. Yeah.
Let's see what Epiphany says. Kanye, Yeezy, Yee, or whatever he is today, is a mentally ill individual who simply has a platform. The only difference with him is that he is rich. There are people who walk amongst us They are just as sick.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your eyes open and watch for the signs.
Yeah.
Thank you, Piffin.
That goes back to us talking about those high school shootings. You know,
Right. That's right.
say something, report something.
Right.
And Van was making a statement about when the banks don't want your money. That JC Chase, when you know, they was like, we don't want to fool with you. And he talked about them.
But there's something that's so much deeper is the fact that this man has said crazy stuff all along, and now all of a sudden he being
He
hurt in the
messed with the
pocketbook.
wrong.
He messed with the wrong
people.
one. That's right.
He
Right.
attacked the wrong because those people pretty much controls everything.
Well, it goes back to us empowering ourselves.
We can't come together.
Right. That's the man.
I don't want Bishop T. I don't want you to have more than me. As long as you beneath me, I'm with you. But you get above me, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The crab.
Crabs in a barrel.
Even in 21st century, we still got crabs.
You may have to take me out in about another 2 or 3 minutes.
We finna get off.
Well, before we get off, I want to make sure that we go and vote for midterm election on November the 8th. We've got to go and vote. Midterm elections are important. Midterm elections really determine the majority and the minority, who takes control of the House, who takes control over the Senate. So we need to make sure that we are at the polls on November the 8th. At the polls on November the 8th.
Thank you, my friend.
And we need to, I definitely, me and Pastor Huff, I know we're going to be together on November the 6th, sworn
Is it
in. 7th, sorry. November the 7th, that Monday before the election day. On that Monday, and we want everybody. We want everybody in the districts. Pastor Huff is school board for District 3. I am city council for District 1. You have a personal invitation at the venue. At the venue.
Swearing in will be there.
Right. We'll be sworn
November the
in
7th at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. 10 a.m. And so we are excited for that and excited to have everybody pack the venue out.
Awesome.
Anything else? Don't forget, you all, get your photos in. If they serve in any part of the branch of the armed forces, get your photo in. Email it to me, realtalk.z.t@gmail.com. realtalk.z.t@gmail.com. Okay?
Tom, it's been wonderful having you through the majority of the show.
I know.
Certainly.
And no static. It's been wonderful.
No static. I have really enjoyed myself, really.
And you told us on last week that you had an aunt that is overseas.
Yeah, it's my first cousin.
Your first cousin. Give a shout out to her again. Let her know we appreciate her watching and tell us where she at.
Okay. Oh, she probably won't be mad at me, but she her name is Eleanor Holloway. She's overseas. I think she is in
You don't have to tell us exactly.
Yeah, she's over there. She's
She's overseas. That says enough for me.
She's over there.
She's overseas watching us. Wow.
Yeah, she's overseas watching us. But yeah, she's near and dear to me. So yeah.
Long as she ain't in Russia.
No, she's not in Russia, but her job is high security.
Okay. Well, you're supposed to tell where she at then.
You're
going too far. You go too far.
High security, so yeah.
You gonna mess around and get us counsel on Facebook Live and YouTube. Let's get out of here, y'all. Enjoyed all of you. Thank you for watching us. Until next Thursday, God bless. Have a great night.
All right, bye-bye.